Hello and welcome to DTC Blowin Smoke podcast number 32. Fresh off of a 16-and-a-half-hour drive from Las Vegas to the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I am Eye Candy Randy, joined by our illustrious leader, Mr. Wild Bill.
Yeah.
And behind the board, mixing and mastering and making everything look so pretty, is Preacher Ethan. Hello, Ethan.
Hello.
And we always start the podcast out with, what are you smoking? And this one was a surprise because I had something cut already right here, a delicious Crown Head product that we'll talk about a little bit later. But Bill decided to cut and hand us some very delicious Padrones. So, Bill, what do you have?
I have the Padron number 46 Family Reserve. Today was a special day. Got some good news. So I spent some money and bought you each a Family Reserve Bellicoso along with mine.
And I am having the 1964 Natural. Ethan, how about you?
I think I have the same thing.
Yep, Family Reserve.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations for the good day, and thank you for the tasty treat as we recap the PCA show from Las Vegas. Like I said, we just got back from. It was quite a trip, and it's always the hardest part, driving home. But we made it, and we've had a couple of days to recover, and Ethan was posting all of our fun interviews and some pictures and some other stuff that we had on our trip. Looking forward to the next one. It'll be a little bit sooner, and actually it'll be, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be the Kid and the Preacher, right, Bill?
The Kid and somebody.
Somebody.
Ethan goes to Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he gets Mexico with the girls.
Tijuana.
Cabo San Lucas.
Chicle. Well, that'll be a fun time. So it was an experience, let's put it that way. And the good part about the trip is we did have a little bit of downtime. It was not completely trade show all the time. We got in a little bit early, so we had an afternoon after we registered to check out the town. And we made some pit stops to some of the favorites, including Hogs and Heifers and then the Sand Dollar. If you haven't ever been, the Sand Dollar, check it out. Live blues all the time. We saw a great guy. Alistair Green is his name. He's from Southern California, and we visited with him a little bit. And don't be surprised if down the road you see him and his power trio rocking the blues up here at the venue.
It was funny. It really was funny with him.
It was. And he was, not to get into the nuts and bolts, but he was setting up, and we were sitting at a table enjoying the evening, and Bill started talking to him, and he was like, so what would it take to get you up to South Dakota? And he was like, well, if someone throws X at me for a weekend, Mo will probably make it work. And X just happened to be right in our budget.
X was $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
We can afford that. I was like, that's nothing. And he was like, where do I go from here? Is this guy bullshitting me?
I guess I'm in.
Shit. I threw out a number and he didn't blink.
No.
Yeah, that'll work out good. So now all the other bands are going to want that. Thanks, Bill.
No, it's not about thanking you or me. It's about if you're a band that wants to step up and rock the joint, then I have to step up and allow you to do that. But if you're going to be a band that comes in here and doesn't step up, then you get what you get. Because we're trying all new things at 715 Main Street.
Absolutely. We've got, speaking of, the next podcast after this one comes out, episode 33, is going to feature our friend Patrick Steele of the Steel River Band, who will be in-house for Days of 76. They are a 4-piece country band from Canyon Lake, Texas. Great guys. They've played some rally gigs before. I've known them for a while, and they have occasionally played a Deadwood gig a couple years ago. So we'll look forward to that.
A lot of people wonder why we're changing things up on the music, Randy.
Well, with a new space and 5 times the space and an opportunity to have more what I call baby nationals or regional, super regional bands come in just to expand the opportunities not only for the artists but for our clientele. For a long, long time, there was a house band that played every weekend and had a number of people enjoying that. But
did a great job.
We thought it was time to expand and try new things. Not that we're going to ever change from our core. Our core is always going to be a blues bar. But there are certain opportunities, for example, St. Patrick's Day. That's a younger crowd. It's a drinking crowd. And we brought in a beatbox and hip-hop artist out of Minneapolis and absolutely destroyed the place.
Fantastic.
I was not 100% behind that, I'll be honest. But I was 100% behind you booking it, just not the talent. But unfortunately, I don't know everything. So when the talent does what he does and did what he did,
Yeah.
Super
I'm
unique,
not.
man.
I'm
Super
I'm
unique.
not going to complain. But prior to that, I was like, how are we going to entertain a crowd with a beatboxer? That beatboxing's been out since the '80s.
Yep, and it turns out Heatbox is his name, by the way. Check him out on all the socials. Possibly he'll be back sometime soon as well. And it was a great experiment, and it worked out really well. And it's finding those little niches. There's another one coming up that we haven't even announced yet. That will be during a Deadwood Jam weekend, which is the second weekend in September. A local and regional music group that we've had here before, the Pocket Junkies, will be the main band, but they will also be bringing featured musicians, including the possibility of one of the headliners from the Deadwood Jam for the unofficial after party. So we've got a guitarist who's played with the Robert Randolph Band and people from... now I can't remember the name. Oh, Carl Dennison's Tiny Universe. So we're going to have a great time. Deadwood Jam weekend, both Friday and Saturday.
Wait a minute. Slow your roll. That's
Yep.
too quick. Are you telling me we are the unofficial, unofficial
We are
after party?
We are the official, unofficial after party for the Deadwood Jam. You only have to walk about 40 yards to come on in and have a good time with us, because Deadwood has a noise ordinance, which is wonderful because you need to have some people getting a little bit of rest. So at 10 o'clock, they have to shut down the music at the Outlaw Square. So, hey, there's still a few hours to party. You can come on down to Deadwood Tobacco, the venue at 715 Main Street, and check out the after party.
Should we stay open till 2 o'clock?
You know, if there are people having a good time and everyone's enjoying themselves, I don't see why not.
Randy, I'll be honest with you. If they drink Jeremiah Johnson and smoke a Padron Family Reserve, they're going to want to stay till 2 o'clock.
Exactly right. Yeah. It'll be a hard 2 o'clock, though, because the kid and I will be on 14 hours at that point.
14 hours. Why?
Well, because that's...
It's an 8-hour shift. You coming early again?
Always.
Oh,
Can't
man.
stay away.
What's going on here? Why do people come in early to work here?
Well, because you have to get your mind in the right space. This isn't your typical bar. You know, there's a lot of people that have bartended in the past, and you just walk in the door and you're like, oh, here's your Busch Light, and, here's your, crappy hot dog or whatever. This one, you got to check out all the new stuff in the humidor. You got to see the new products in the beer cooler and what's on tap. And then you kind of got to wrap your mind around, all right, today is... For example, let's just say it's Cool Deadwood Nights. All right, you know what clientele you're going to get. You know kind of what they're probably going to want to smoke, kind of what they're going to probably want to drink, and that's my excuse.
So it's not just a game face.
Not just
No.
game face. No.
Not here.
No, we want to actually cater to, and everybody's different. You can't judge a book by the cover. I mean, we've had some very young cowboys come in here, and they grab $45 smokes and $18 glasses of wine and have a grand old time. So
They don't blink.
Yep, you can't judge a book by the cover, but there are, let's just call historical precedents for groups that come into the community
Yes.
for certain events.
So, Randy, this show's about PCA, so here's my question to you.
Yeah, should we talk about it a little bit, maybe?
Maybe. I figured that's my segue back to you.
Yes, thank you.
So, outside of the food in Vegas, because we didn't stay at the casino, we rented a house, which Randy can talk all about that.
Mm-hmm.
But, Randy, the truth is this. That was your first outside event with Deadwood Tobacco.
Yes.
You had preconceived notions about how it would go, how it would happen, what could happen, what wouldn't happen, who you're going to meet, who you wouldn't meet. So, Randy, working for Deadwood Tobacco and your first trade show,
Right.
and some things you can't say.
I can't
But-
imagine what you're talking about.
No, but as
Me
far
passing out at 2 p.m.
I didn't say anything about M&Ms and a cigar in your hand. But what I was going to say is it was different. So what was different from what your preconceived notions are to what actually happened?
Well, here at DTC, everyone has their own department for the most part, and then everyone has the community stuff that we all have to work on, and there is really never... just call it downtime while you're here, because you're always either helping a customer or working on your project for, for me, lining up bands and working on public relations and working on events. For Ethan, it's all the creative stuff behind the scenes, etc. In Vegas, there was a lot of downtime, and it was weird. That first couple of days was very, very weird. We're like, oh, we're just going to have a couple of beers and cook steaks on the barbecue and hang out by the pool? Okay.
You mean you didn't expect that from me?
Well, it's not that I didn't expect it. I didn't know what to do because I saw the schedule for the actual trade show. It's like, what are we going to fill the time with? And we were lucky enough to have some of our friends in the industry come on by the Airbnb and hang out with us and buy us pizza and smoke pipes and talk about stuff outside of the specifics of the Deadwood tobacco.
You mean not Vegas pipes?
Not
actually,
Vegas pipes.
DC pipes.
Actually, Joe from Peterson's out in LA. Yeah, he came by and we actually smoked
All right, I just want to make that sure for all the.
tobacco pipes.
Thank you.
Not that the other is illegal in Vegas, because it is certainly legal.
Yeah, you could take bong hits for Jesus all day long. But so you're most fun at a. You've been to other conventions, and all that. Mm-hmm. But cigars, there's a lot of booths. We didn't go to all the booths because obviously they want you to buy when you step in. But what was the most fun you had inside the trade show? I don't care about outside.
Inside the trade show, so meeting some of the people that I've only heard about or that I've seen on some of the stuff that we've watched here about the cigar industry, I would say your good buddy and just a great guy, Fabian, was kind of my favorite.
He's a lot of fun.
Fabian is a character. He also took us out to dinner, which was very nice of him. But man, that guy has limitless energy. Used to be with Drew Estate. As I found out from talking to him, he was kind of known as the king of sweet cigars, and now he is with a brand new to him company, Agonor Salif, which we are bringing in here, which is a traditional tobacconist and a grower, and actually they supply to a number of different other
huge amount.
Yeah, it's amazing when you started listing off some of the stuff and where their product has gone and the different manufacturers that have used it. It's probably top 4 or 5 in the industry.
A lot of the bigwigs in the industry use Agonor tobacco, like Placencia. But Fabian, going on to the traditional world from sweet, he even said it's a whole new experience for him.
And he's at the adult table.
Yeah, he makes reference to that. But it's also interesting to see the king of sweet learn. Yeah. He's never closed-minded, and he's open to one of the biggest producers and manufacturers that can up and coming that can make tobacco. So we're going to bring in the Agonor Connecticut, which we're going to talk about. It's a beautiful mild smoke. They actually, before I get crazy, the one cigar they make, which Jakin, the kid, smoked, tripped me out.
The whole shift.
10 by 100.
Mm-hmm.
The kid smoked it his whole evening shift. The bud at the end, when he was like, I was done, he showed me the picture. Ethan, let me tell you this.
He smoked the whole thing.
He smoked about 8 of the 10 inches, for sure.
Oh, yeah. He was down. He didn't take the band off, but he was down to the band and was like, I'm done. I was like, what time was that? He said 11:30. Mm-hmm. So he smoked it all night.
Yep. It's at least a 3-hour smoke.
Oh, it took
minimum.
him. Well, yeah, because obviously we were working, so it took him 6.5 hours to get down there.
I mean, if you consider a 10 by 100, how many leaves of tobacco extra are in there? You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a few.
Think about that. That's over 1.5 inches round by 10 inches long.
Yeah.
Most men in America would like to smoke something like that if it was well balanced. So when you get that big of a cigar with that much tobacco, to make it quality and make it balanced,
it's just a jawbreaker, man.
It's a jawbreaker, and people smoke it. And there's a lot of men and women that love a 10-inch by 100 ring gauge.
Allegedly.
But that also brings me up to another cigar, actually, that I saw at the trade show. There's a little hidden gem in a cigar that was created by, Surrogates, Tatawahe. Mm-hmm. Did you see it on the box when you saw it?
I did, and that product will be here soon. It is not currently in the humidor, but
not
it will be
until
here.
September, I think.
Yep.
So talking about the Big Ten, right?
The Big Ten, not for football.
Nope, and that's the first thing we thought because, of course, with our proximity to those teams, the Big Ten is celebrating a 10th anniversary. And
Correct.
It's part of the Surrogate series, and Surrogate Joe got to interview.
No, not Surrogate Joe, Surrogate Dan.
See, that's what I knew I was going to mess it up.
That's all right. You met a bunch of new people at the trade show you never met before. You only saw them in publication. So
sorry, Joe. I mean Dan.
Frank, George.
I can remember Fabian because he's the only Fabian I've ever met in my life.
He's the only Swiss Fabian that you met in your life that can eat.
Pretty much. And if you go check it out, on the box, there is an Easter egg. And I think he shared that a little bit with the interview that we did with him. When it comes into the store, make sure you check it out and look really carefully at the side of the box and let us know if you see something that is,
Truth is, we
catches your eye.
saw something on the side of the box, but we weren't sure what it was.
Yes.
And we weren't sure how to make it. That's what we saw. Mm-hmm. So we told them we saw something on the side of the box, but we weren't right.
No, we were close, though, because it is called the Big 10. So just take a look when it comes in the shop.
It's not a trademark.
Nope, it is not. So that was a great one, and that was a nice conversation we had there. We also talked to Pete Johnson about his 20th anniversary with Tatawahe, 30 years in the tobacco industry.
Hold on a second, Ethan. Mm-hmm. So we're talking to Pete, right? And this is off camera and everything. And Knucklehead over here goes, so tell us something about your worst time you had to talk about your product. And he was like, oh, I was over here, and they brought me into a room, and they said, we're going to do an interview with you. And then they said, so, Pete, tell us about every single line.
Yeah.
So what does Randy do?
That's the first question out of my mouth. So,
yes.
Pete, tell us what the wrapper filler binder is in all of your different cigars.
And he was just, the look was, fuck you, asshole.
Pretty much.
Surprised he didn't say that to you.
No, he got it.
That would have been, little clickbait right there. Yep. But fascinating to hear about his journey in the industry and what he's been able to accomplish. And we have a number of his sticks selling really well in the humidor right now.
You know what's funny about Pete is my history with him goes way back to when he started, and I made a phone call, and he told you that we go back to the inception of his company. So when Pete and I talk, that's what's unusual. It's not about cigars. It's going to be about wine, because we both love the vine, and it's going to be about documentaries. That's all we talk about.
Yep. My first meeting with him was down in the DR, and most down-to-earth guy in the world. And I think we talked about books and documentaries the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was great because that's one thing that I learned from going to all the different appointments is that his way, obviously, we carry his product. We have. It's good product. We'll continue to carry it. There was no selling involved in our conversation with anybody at that booth. And a lot of other booths as well. But there were some booths where it was
hardcore selling.
Just a hard sell. And I'm looking at Bill, and his eyeballs are rolling in the back of his head. And it's, new products are wonderful, and we love to hear about the new products, but there were a couple, I won't say which companies, I was like, man, I actually enjoy your cigars, but your way of doing business is turning me off right now.
We didn't order much.
That's what I figured.
You know how it is.
Yep.
Don't push me.
What did we order?
We ordered Tatawahe. We ordered House of Lucky. We ordered My Father. We've ordered Padron. We ordered CLE, Chasing the Dragon. We've ordered
Foundation.
Ashton, Crux, Foundation.
Crown Heads.
Crown Heads. The only thing we didn't order was Illusione.
So there's a bunch more Fuente that are on their way.
Yep.
The
those
new
are
Crux
ordered.
cigar, the Epicure Habano.
Which, by the way,
Solid
was
stick.
Phenomenal stick. And I got to admit this because I had to admit it when I was there with Tony. I did not realize in all of the information and looking into the Crux, I didn't realize that the Epicure, the only change in that is the wrapper. Yep. The filler binder is exactly the same tobacco, and that wrapper makes a big difference in the taste of those cigars.
Yeah, which will be interesting if you smoke all three now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got three different wrappers and the same filler binder.
Do you know who else does that?
No.
Tatawahe.
Really?
Yes, they do. They do it in the Kahonu 2012. It's the same filler binder, just different wrappers. Pete did that so you could see what a wrapper can do.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand when you tell them the wrapper 70-80% flavor comes from that. They're like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's just a thin little delicate piece of skin.
You wouldn't think it'd be that much of a difference.
It's huge.
Yeah.
The soul of the cigar, the soul, is from the filler. And the binder protects the soul, which allows the wrapper to come out. And a lot of people don't look at the three components, right? Because all three burn at a different time. That's for a later podcast. We can burn a filler. We'll burn a binder, and we'll burn a wrapper, and you will actually see how they burn at all different rates of speed, and we'll cut that cigar open in front of you. But it was really interesting to take a newbie like Randy and introduce him to some people. Even Crown Heads, we went in there. We didn't talk to our rep. Our conversation took a while, and unfortunately, we didn't talk to Miguel. He was a little busy, but we were busy with John Huber discussing tattoos in the industry.
Absolutely, and it's really funny because I've had the opportunity to meet a few people that own cigar companies and also are involved, of course, in the blending and all of the other aspects of it. That dude looks like everybody I've ever seen walking down the street at Raleigh. Black T-shirt, jeans, baseball hat, that's it. Completely wouldn't have realized that that man is who he is and the stuff that he's done over the years. Couldn't have been nicer, too. That's one that we unfortunately didn't get on camera. That was a conversation that was a little more about other things in the industry than what we thought would be interesting for the podcast folks, but more on that down the road.
It was more about what he's been doing with his life. He actually worked at CAO as marketing, created the brands, the colors, and all that kind of stuff. Not the actual cigar. But he's done a great job for them. And then now, owning Crown Heads, I got to give him much shout out, much love, because he stops at 5 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock, he goes to his family. He don't care what's going on at 5 o'clock. It's family time. And being a rep in this industry for a long time, you tend to lose focus. And some of that focus is your family. But he decided to focus on the family. And in turn, he created a successful company. Crown Heads.
Yep, that was a really good one as well. Oh, we forgot to mention we have... there were so many, I cannot remember the name of the brand, the Italian cigar with the little Charoot. Tricano, which...
That's a salesman in Deadwood.
Oh, so what's the line? It's called...
It's like that. It's an Italian Charoot. And actually, she emailed me today and asked me if we wanted the Lily espresso pods because she's willing to buy them for us.
And you said absolutely 100%.
I have not replied back yet.
Okay, you got your phone right there, so you can certainly do that. That was a pleasant surprise.
Belinda. Yep. That was fun.
Yeah, and actually, Bill said that she's someone that we should probably get on the podcast because it's rare to have a woman in this industry for as long as she's been around and doing various different roles in different companies, and it'd be interesting to get that perspective. So we'll put that on the list for a later date as well.
Belinda's a pretty lady. She's attractive. She's smart. She's educated. But a lot of people in the male-dominated industry will look at her like she's not going to have the knowledge because she's pretty. But the fact is, when you look past the prettiness, that woman has a lot of knowledge. And she wouldn't be in the industry this long if she didn't. So I can do nothing but clap my hands to her.
Yep, so make sure you come down and check out the Italian Charoots. We'll get the name of the company up on the screen, hopefully, because I can't remember it right now either. And the Illy Espresso.
All right, so, I mean, we've got a lot of people who are wondering about the 867 and the former Deadwood Tobacco Company chasing the dragon.
Randy, I'll let you have this one.
Yes, so it was... first day we showed up to the trade show, they had the 867. All three of the original sizes were there, the Auntie, the Midnight Oil, and the Zero. And then by the second day, the packaging had shown up. That's how new the product is the same product. We need to emphasize that over and over again. If you have had a Chasing the Dragon Zero, Midnight Oil, or Auntie, it is the same cigar. It is a rebrand. It is a repackaging.
Why did you go to a Asylum 867 from Deadwood Tobacco? Why'd you do that?
I didn't do anything, but the reason it has been acquired by CLE, Christian Arroyo, is, as Bill said in the last podcast, there are legal issues that have reared their head, and I don't know what I can and can't say, so we'll leave it at that.
Well, what you can say is the following, that Deadwood Tobacco is being sued by Drew Estate and Vaughn Boyd over the trademark of Deadwood Tobacco. Last podcast, I said I'm willing to fight. Now, you have to understand something about me. If I'm going to fight, that means I'm going to burn everything down. Not burn it down just to burn it down, but if I'm right, I'm right. And I will fight to my death. And unfortunately, I have lawyers in place, so I don't have to erratically firebomb people.
It's always good to have checks and balances.
Well, let me tell you, that's why you guys are employed here.
That's
I'm
Ethan's
not the
job.
smartest guy, but sometimes my mouth gets in the way, and I need people like you guys to handle shit.
What's the timeline on the 867?
867, actually, we just found out today, is going to ship in September. However, we are going to have the original, formerly known as Deadwood Tobacco Company Chasing the Dragon Onto Zero Midnight Oil, in the shop this week or Monday.
Randy, why are we having those names if they got the Asylum 867?
Because these cigars were created by Bill and the team before I joined the team, in conjunction with Christian and his team, and they have already been produced and labeled, and the boxes have been made, and we will continue to sell those until they are gone.
Even with a lawsuit.
Correct.
And they can pick those up online and order them.
Yeah, they shipped out. We should have them by, I'll say safely, Monday. And then they'll go up online, and we'll be selling Chasing the Dragon again.
And there are a number of boxes, and so it would be something that would be available for a little while, but don't wait, because given the acquisition by CLE of the product and the name change, these are going to be limited. So there aren't going to be very many of these original designs left. So make sure you grab
Collector's
those.
items.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Mayor Dave came in today, and he's playing golf with a friend, or actually not playing golf. I think they went riding side by sides, and he came in and goes, "Did they come yet?" I said, "No, they're on their way." Well, we had 3 samples left, and the gentleman he was with only smokes aromatic cigars, and so we supplied a couple of those brand new ones. So they are the first in the state of South Dakota to smoke the brand spanking new Asylum 867. Same tobacco, same cigar. Got to emphasize that over and over again.
Just a different label. That's the only new thing.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And Christian took it over because of a lawsuit. Just so people know, there's no confusion between Deadwood Tobacco and Asylum 867. The lawsuit caused some interference, and Christian had to recoup what he had to recoup, and I lost Deadwood Tobacco Company Chasing the Dragon to Asylum 867. He took it over, and there's nothing I can do right now.
And with the rally, Sturgis Rally being right around the corner, you guys were also with Shorty during part of that time, and we have another release that's coming out for the rally specifically, right?
Yes, indeed. The rally bike is going to be back again, 2023. Ethan, how many years have we done this? I'm not familiar.
Oh my gosh.
The rally bike's been since, I believe, 2006.
So quite a long time. And tell us a little bit about the inception of that, Ethan, and how it's changed over the years, and the blending. I believe that's all with Christian and his team. We don't have anything to do with the actual cigar other than licensing it and using it here in the shop, but they picked it. And you know about this year's stick?
I don't. I'm going to turn that back over to Bill.
Of course you would. It's a Honduran product with a wrapper that's tobacco, and it'll be beautiful and sexy.
But we don't know exactly.
No,
what
they
the
don't
blend is
tell
gonna
us
be.
until it arrives.
Okay.
So that way the mystery's still there. It's different from last year. It's different from every other year. They keep it a secret so we can keep it a secret. And when we find out the secret, we tell you the secret. So we're not secret keepers.
You want to know the best part? I know the secret. I know
I don't.
the actual. I don't know the wrapper filler binder, but I know the style. I know the cigar style. Should we share that or no?
Who told you that?
I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
You can't get in trouble.
His initials are CLE.
Well, Christian.
Is it going to be lighter, darker?
It's going to be lighter than the 2022. And actually, at the recording of this podcast, there are less than 2 boxes of that left in the store. So if you're interested in that stick, which is a wonderful, medium-bodied, a very, very popular stick, better get down here tomorrow.
You know, what's funny about something here that you just said to me in regards to this box selling out faster than the rally coming. Every year we always had extra cigars left over for the rally.
Yes.
Now, when we transferred over to CLE, things seem to be running faster. And this is proof this year that we don't have any extra cigars that we set aside for the rally at the rally because 2 boxes left.
Yes, and when I joined the team in February, we had, I'm going to round it up, I'd say approximately 50, 60 boxes of the 2021 left.
Easy.
And now the 2022 will be long gone before rally hits. And the new one is going to be lighter, and it rhymes with Schmedemekut.
Connecticut? A Schmedemacut.
Yeah.
That's a Connecticut.
It's a Connecticut. Yeah, it's a Connecticut. So it's going to be a lighter. Can't tell you much more about it because we haven't had a chance to smoke it yet. But that is a cigar with a lot of mass appeal, especially for relatively new cigar smokers.
And we do the design. On them, we'll have the commemorative shirts that come out as well about the same time.
So
Wow,
back to
the podcast.
the podcast. Yeah, I was just checking out the monitor.
PCA.
Ethan had his cigars up there. Smoked a lot of fun, good cigars. My two personal favorites were one we've already talked about, the Crux Epicure Habano. That was just a splendid, splendid stick. And the other one is a different variation that we could only get, and I don't know if it's being produced, I'll have to check, was at the private event that we went to from our friends in CLE.
It is being made.
That is a 50 by 10 CBT Maduro from CLE. Now, when we had that in here, I really liked the 6x60 with our good friend Tony Canada. That was his go-to stick as well. Just a big, beefy, meaty cigar.
Wait a second. You smoked this at a CLE event. Does that mean you were drinking at a CLE event?
I was. That's the night we ended up.
Why did you drink?
Because the waitresses were cute and they had trays of drinks.
And your boss said, hey, this is free?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, I said it was free. I didn't want to drink. I had a vodka and lime, and I was like, oh, this is going to be heartburn. And I told them that. Then I looked at my drink, and I looked at them, and I said, hey, you fuckers better drink. This is free. And I drank my vodka that quick.
Yep, and it was a good time. And we can say what the event is because we've already covered it. It was Christian Arroyo's 51st birthday party. And what I learned from that is being around the shop for a while now, just how close-knit our group of people in the industry are. Tony from Crux was there. Sam from Ashton was there. Yeah. A lot of the people who are not CLE employees were there hanging out because it's a nice, big community where everyone's welcome.
Rocky Patel's brother was there.
Rocky Patel was there.
Yeah, they were all there. It was a good time.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that whole time was after I said, hey, it's free, let's drink this drink, I didn't talk to Randy the rest of the night. He was off talking to other people. I don't know where he went. Grimes was off talking to other people. I don't think they talked to each other.
Not very much.
No. So after Christian talked to us at the party.
I want to bring up that point. So we're sitting outside. It's at a very nice cigar lounge inside a casino, and we're hanging out there. And we get there, it starts at 9. We get there at 9:15, and they have cigars at the door where you can come in. Bill's got to pee. And so you can pick a cigar from the tray. So we grabbed the Signature Series, the SS. Because that was, something that we wanted to smoke. And then we walked around a little bit inside, and then we're like, oh, so we go out to the patio. And they had misters. It was really nice. And we were dressed very much like we're dressed right now. We are in our DTC work shirts, our shop shirts, DTC hats and jeans. Very much the rest of the crowd were in cocktail dresses and suits and ties. Some of them had the tie off because it was the end of the day, that kind of thing. And we're kind of looking around, and there's just the three of us in this little pod. And then Michelle from CLE came and visited for a little bit, so we had a little conversation there. The cocktails are coming by, bringing us some drinks, and we're hanging out. And then, maybe an hour into the event, Christian comes down, and he sits right between Grimes and Bill on the big sofa, and Michelle and I are on the other side of the little pod, and we have a nice half-hour conversation. They're talking about the cigars coming out, the Asylum 867, talking about the event, talking about his birthday, just talking about all that fun stuff. And then he, says goodbye and goes to talk to another group of people. And from that point on, we were the most popular kids at the party because the big boss came and sat and talked to us. All of a sudden, we weren't the Hicks from South Dakota.
Even though you were a little bit underdressed,
completely underdressed. Yeah, completely. Yeah. And Bill even told me, he was like, hey, before you go, we need something, kind of nice. And he even said, like a tucked in shirt and a nice pair of jeans. It's 112 degrees. But that was very, very funny because when I first started smoking cigars, I thought the industry was very, very uptight and hoity-toity, but it is not. It is absolutely not. There are people that are in that vein, but everyone else was just very, very cordial hanging out with us. Joe the pipe guy came by, and it was really interesting to see the dynamic go on in that thing. And then I did smoke an entire 50 by 10 CBT, and that kind of sent me to the moon.
That's one of the interesting things. You can't Yeah, this occurred to me probably a couple of years in. You can't understand the history of tobacco and cigars and cigar companies without an understanding of the relationships.
Yes.
It is all the connections and the interrelational friendships that develop in the midst of it. It's a small world, man.
Yep. And this is definitely something you're going to have to pull, Bill. Just breaking the monitor. Careful. Come on back. I'm not going to give away the people involved, but two good friends of ours in the industry who have been to the shop are potentially working on a new project. So we're excited to see the fruits of that, or the seed being planted for potentially something new.
Back for revenge. All the rumors must end.
Everything come out okay?
Everything flowed perfectly. But what you were referring to, I believe, is two friends of ours, right?
Correct.
And I don't know what you said, but I'm going to assume that I know those two friends, and one's very short in height, but great on personality.
Yes. Yep.
And another one's tall on height, but no offense. The other shorter dude has better personality.
So we'll spill the beans on that. Actually, we'll have them on to spill the beans when and if that future project comes to fruition.
I think it will.
I think it will too.
Speaking about that, did you see, what's his name? Shorty Rossi was in their booth?
I did. He was smoking their
Holy
version
cow.
of that very large cigar, and it was the April Fool's. That's a 9x90.
It's a great video.
So a little bit smaller than the one that Jake and choked on for 6 hours. But yes, it's a very, very funny video to see a 4 foot
Check it out.
tall man smoke a 9x90.
But we do have Shorty Rossi on the way to Deadwood for the rally.
Yes.
He's going to be here for a number of days. So you make
Actually,
sure you
he's
swing
here
by.
all the way through Cool Deadwood Nights.
Yep.
What's interesting is that for Shorty's charity ride, I think this will be interesting. Shorty sent me a picture actually today. He's got his own hog that's all customized, and he's been, practicing. So this is the photo that he sent me today.
He looks like a squirrel.
It's a really bad photoshopped deal, but Shorty,
Is that a mini bike?
yeah, I got a small person on a bike. Put his face on it.
That's hilarious.
Did you send that to him? No. You got to.
Well, he'll
Yeah.
see this
He'll
now.
laugh.
That's hilarious.
That was awesome.
Speaking of, Shorty's Wild Bill presents the world's shortest charity ride featuring Shorty Rossi is happening on August 6th. Those registration forms are up on the Facebook event. They're also going to be up on our Facebook. They're also going to be on our website. Please get in there and sign up. It's limited to 50 riders, and we need to have a few more before we hit that mark. Free T-shirt, free stick, free swag bag, treats, donuts, coffee in the morning, live music when you get back, silent auction items, and all of the proceeds, 100%, go to Shorty's Rescue. So make sure you check that out. That is the first Sunday of the rally, August 6th.
You know what's funny is a lot of people are like, why 50 people? Well, 50 people because we want you to feel special for a mile.
Correct. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. If you haven't figured that part out, the map is also up there. It is. I measured it thanks to Google Earth, 0.97 miles.
And I've actually pulled a drone permit, so I'm going to get some, hopefully, some aerial shots of this whole deal as well.
Very
So
nice.
we'll have drone features of you. You'll be on our Facebook. You'll be part of 50 people. You get a swag bag with a bunch of stuff. Not just cigars, but other things that'll help your cigars. Mm-hmm. And, well, like you said, donuts. And I haven't determined whether it's going to be the 8th Street Bakery at a Belfouche or it's going to be the Bum Diggity Diggity Bum 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 from Deadwood.
Maybe a little bit of both. We'll see.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. They're both good partners of ours and take care of us when the staff needs a little pick-me-up.
Sugar.
Yes, that as well.
There's one other thing that I wanted to put a plug in. We did get our own customized flannels in as well.
Yes, we did.
Which are pretty cool.
And if you haven't seen these, I just picked mine up the other day. They are, there's a gray and black, and then there is a red and blue. And they are not just everyday flannels or ordinary flannels. They are incredibly soft. They have custom buttons that say Deadwood Tobacco Company engraved on every single button. They have an eyeglass or optics cleaner down in the corner. And they're very, very, very nice. And the best part is they are extremely affordable, $54.99,
Yep.
which is
Any size.
any size. And we go up to 4X. So all you big boys out there or ladies who love the big boys, you can pick those up as well.
There's nothing wrong with a lady in a flannel and high heels.
Sounds about right. And those are going to go fast. I think
The high heels or the flannels?
both.
Okay.
What did we get, about 150 of them? They will definitely be
Yes.
be out of here in a hurry.
They're cool.
And then once they disappear, we come out with different colors.
Yep, absolutely. And we also have more stuff coming. We have some hats coming, and of course, we're always updating our hard and soft goods. One of the things that I had never been a part of at the trade show was our good conversation we had with both Vissel and Jetline. So cigars are wonderful, and we all enjoy a good cigar, but to properly do it, you need cutters, you need lighters, you need accessories, you need ashtrays, you need travel humidors, you need things like that. And an entire selection of those will be in the shop here very soon as well.
No time at all.
So we've kind of covered some of the people that we hung out with. For example, Sam from Ashton, basically we said, "Hi, Sam, how are you? We want all of these cigars." And that was the quickest appointment ever. It's like, I'll take this, and this. And if you got some more of these, we'll take some of those too.
2 of everything.
Yep.
Pretty much that was it. Boom. Done. Over. Next
And
appointment.
On the foundation side, we have had a number of people ask about the tabernacle. That is going to be here soon in multiple sizes as well. And then one of my personal favorites, the Olmec, is back again.
Absolutely.
And that's just...
Tabernacle's also coming in a different wrapper. We brought in the other one too.
Oh, did they? Oh, the...
I forget which one it was.
it might even be up here. Nope,
No.
it didn't make the cut. But if we ordered that one, that's awesome.
We did.
It's a limited edition, so make sure you check that out. Let's see. Look at this. Yep, there's that Epicure Habano. Oh yeah, the Aroma de Cuba. That's a brand new Connecticut from the Aroma de Cuba line.
Ashton.
That is correct, and make sure you check that one out. And there it is again, the Agonor Salif Connecticut up there as well. So basically, we got you covered, light to dark. Going to be a wonderful, wonderful new selection. And of course, we have all of your old favorites too. We're not getting rid of anything. These are just expansion of the humidor, more options for you. So when you come in, you can get a whole smorgasbord
Of cigars.
much like what we have right now. And by the time this airs, I think we'll be down to less than 10 portfolio packs from our friends at Crowned Heads as well, which is a very popular way to have a stick from many of their different individual lines to decide if you want to get the whole box. And if you like it, buy the box, you get the portfolio pack for free.
Yes.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So we've talked about most of the people that we've hung out, the people that we've met, the fact that we went to the taco stand at 2:30 in the morning on a Monday, the fact that I got day drunk and passed out at 2 o'clock and woke up at 5:20 p.m. thinking it was 5:20 a.m., and then rebounded and ended up going to a cigar lounge. Met all the movers and shakers that we could. There were a few people there we didn't get a chance to talk to that we really wanted to. It's an expansive space in the Venetian, and it's just... you can tell by the high-speed video and the other stuff that we had. It was quite eye-opening. And it might be, and I asked, why is there a half day on that last day? Because there's so much to see. And that last day, the half day, is when you can actually go have a long conversation about any cigar that you've seen or any company and visit with the people that are involved in making it and not just selling it, because obviously this is a show where there are a number of orders placed, but it's interesting to learn about how a number of these have come to be. So, Bill,
Yeah.
of the new stuff,
New stuff.
if you had to pick a favorite, what did you enjoy, or a couple that you enjoyed that are new to the shop here?
That's a tough question. Let me think. I smoked a lot of cigars. But I'm a mild to medium-bodied smoker, so I'd have to say the La Aroma de Cuba was a nice smoke for the morning, for me. But I'm really curious to see how it does in the industry as well, as far as mild, medium-bodied smokers go. Will they gravitate to that, or will they still with their San Cristobal Elegancia by Ashton?
Why not have both?
Because you can only smoke one cigar at a time.
That's true, but you can have them back to back, as we proved at the trade show. I think the most I smoked, I want to say, now granted I didn't finish every one down to the band, I think 8. I think 8 is the most I had in a day.
Is that at the trade show, or does that include the house?
That includes the entire day. So that would be, I rarely smoked at the house before we went because I knew what was in for us at the trade show. Yeah. And then back at the house after 6 or 7, it's kind of tough to have one just for pure enjoyment. You know, your palate has been exposed to a number of different blends, and at that point, you just kind of want to
That's
back
what
and
the
relax.
pistachios were for.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
The
I wonder I'm
pistachios.
the only ones eating them.
Nope.
You ate the M&Ms.
I did a
The
couple
peanut
of times.
butter. The peanut butter M&Ms.
Yep.
And Grimes ate the caramel.
Yeah, that was.
And
a good
I
time.
chose the plain and peanut because that had the most.
Yeah, and Grimes couldn't be with us here tonight. I'm sure he had a lot of fun too. Grimes, we don't use the M word. We call him I call him the shop boss. He had the hard job. He had to take care of the orders, track everything, make sure we were getting everything we needed. Oh, and something you have been asking for a lot of people: V cutters on their way, travel humidors on their way. Brand new lighter that has a punch cutter and a poker on it from our friends at Jetline. Those are on the way. In addition to all the regular stuff that we have been known to carry here.
Sure, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure I forgot somebody, so if we had a meeting with you and I didn't mention you in the podcast, I sincerely apologize, but I may have been overserved.
At the trade show?
Both at the trade show and with my delicious Padron.
So you were hanging out the Rocky booth?
Rocky Patel?
Yeah, because you don't remember the trade show. You were drinking.
No, we put that off towards the end.
Correct. Then I made him drink.
All right, Bill. Anything else?
I'm done.
All right, Ethan?
I do not have anything else.
This episode was sponsored by Jeremiah Johnson. 3 beers in, and it's tasty.
And I went with the Sweetwater Extra Pale 420. And looks like Ethan has a delicious Shiner
I do.
light blonde. Well, that'll do it for episode number 32. Next week, come back and join us. We'll have Patrick Steele from the Steel River Band. He'll be here for the Days of 76, both Friday and Saturday night. Also, hopefully, Shiner Maxwell will be on, and Sam from Ashton, otherwise known as Abs, will be here.
Boom, boom.
And we will visit with you again. So thanks very much for joining us. That'll do it for number 32, Deadwood Tobacco Company Blowin Smoke podcast. Until next time, I am Eye Candy Randy, Wild Bill over here, and Preacher Ethan behind the board. We will see you next time.